Hey, it's Molly. Welcome back to my YouTube channel as I wanted to share with you some important energies that will be underway as we move into October. This chart is for October 1st, 2023, and we're going to look at a few things here that reiterate a common theme. So first, let's take a look at the purple lines, which are a yod to Venus in Leo. Now, back when Venus first stationed retrograde at 28 degrees of Leo, she was in a yod with Pluto and Neptune. And here she is returning to that same configuration. Now, I said this chart is for October 1st. You can see that she's at 23 degrees. So when she gets to 25 degrees is when the yod will really be activated. But it's important to understand that this is a configuration of reprogramming something in the Venus energies as well as the Leo areas of your chart that are expanding you more into your soul's frequency. And this Neptune in Pisces is the higher self. And this Pluto in Capricorn is the soul's evolutionary journey. So Venus is receiving and has been receiving these powerful downloads from both Pluto and Neptune. Started back in June and July, and she's returning to this territory in your chart, asking you to check in on how you're feeling now around your heart, your love frequency, your self-acceptance, your talents, your gifts, how you're here to shine your light, and what you've learned, especially since June, because now she's checking in again with these two. Now, I'm not going to repeat everything I said in that video because I want to move on to something else, but you can watch that video here on YouTube that relates to Venus's journey with these two outer planets through a finger of God, where she is highlighting and pinpointing something that honestly she probably didn't want to look at, because the yod involves these two inconjuncts which are uncomfortable. There's something that has challenged what you want, what you thought you could have. Perhaps it has altered something within you. It has required you to grow and expand. It could have been really difficult, challenging. You could have come up against your ego, which is one of the Leo traits, your sense of self, your pride, what you thought you could do on your own, and how there have been several messages and energies impacting this Venus in Leo, where she is meant to soften into herself and basically be listening to her higher self, her intuition, and her soul's clarity on what matters for the long run. So again, I go into more specifics in that other video. But this was important to basically call out and note that this Venus is returning to the yod configuration, but we have some other important things at play as well. So here we have this Neptune at 25 degrees Pisces retrograde, making a sextile to Uranus at 22 Taurus retrograde, the closest they've been for a very long time, because Uranus is now further along in Taurus and can now make that sextile connection to Neptune. And so this is encouraging about developments, what you're ready to call in and bring in that could surprise you. But something about these two outer planets is that now they are making a yod with the South Node. Now, the South Node is not a planet, it's a point. But what's important to note is that in October, Mars, the Sun, and Mercury will all be moving across this south node in Libra for the first time since about 2005, 2006, and is applying a pressure. The south node in Libra is receiving pressure from Uranus and Neptune to make a change, a shift, to see something in a new way. Now, Libra is about not only connections, partnerships, relationships, it's how you share your energy. It's how you collaborate, cooperate. It's also what you don't enjoy in other people. It's where you don't get along. You have different values. You have different perceptions, different ideas, different ways of wanting to work something out or work through it. And the South Node is bringing up choices that you need to make around connections, relationships, who is in your world. And there's a discomfort because here is your intuition giving you one message. Neptune in Pisces giving you one message, and Uranus in Taurus wanting you to check in with what you really value in your life now, what you want to bring in to your experience, what is working or not working in your reality. And these are energies too that are ultimately feminine, trusting, passive. These are passive energies. And here we have 3 planets coming through in October, entering into this domain of the South Node in Libra, highlighting your choices, that the choices you're making now will have some kind of impact on your spiritual growth and on your values. And this could even feel like paralysis, analysis paralysis, overthinking it, going back and forth in your head, really considering pros and cons, if you go left, if you go right, if you go up, if you go down, assessing. And this Libra energy will collect information. Let's keep talking about it. Let's have a conversation. Let's see what the win-win is here. What's the compromise? But the South Node is asking you to look at what do you need to realistically understand in yourself that is not supporting your decision making. That's not supporting your decision making, that is holding you back from what you want or who you are now, which is represented by the North Node in Aries. And so this South Node has more energy pointed towards it. And so not only do we have Mars, and then the Sun and Mercury will be here too, October 17th and 18th, but we also have an eclipse occurring at 21 degrees of Libra in your chart, which will also be in the range of this Yod configuration. And remember that not only is this your intuition, but this is connected to what you're feeling or sensing that maybe the mind doesn't logically understand, because the Libra energy, it wants rationale. It wants a reasonable choice. And here is your intuition. Perhaps not allowing that, almost like all of this Neptune energy, it can't fit into the human mind or into what you're evaluating. This is the other realms, the higher realms. This is very much about your 5D expansion. This is very much trusting your intuition. So there could be a war here between your intuition and your mind. And there's going to be a lot of energy here in Libra. So how do you make decisions where you trust yourself? How do you make decisions that honor your long-term path? You know, Uranus is very sparky and impulsive and wants to do something new and different, and let's try this, and who cares? It's only temporary. It doesn't have to last. And there's a big change energy, as everyone with Taurus knows. Taurus planets. Since 2018, you've been feeling this roller coaster ride of Uranus and Taurus that keeps changing the game on you, keeps stirring things up. It's like, can we just let things settle? Can we let them calm down? Nope, sorry. That's not what's happening in the Taurus areas of your chart. And so here you have the desire to manage change, to maintain and possibly control what you can. And Libra is also other people, other people's choices, other people's processes and their decision making and what they are choosing. So with this yod pointed at the Libra energies, there's things here that could seem like, well, it's somebody else's choice, it's somebody else's decision. And then that can, of course, feel reactionary or defensive, or like you're not in your full power. But part of what is happening is that, see how this energy is working with Venus through a sextile of what you have learned. And I know some of you are seeing the other parts of this, which is that the planets that move through, well, actually it's Mars that moves through here. Mars and Venus are now making a yod to Neptune. And Neptune opposing Mercury in Virgo. I don't know the decision. I don't know the choice. Oh my gosh, I can't take any more. I don't know how to simplify this. So we have these three outer planets, Pluto, Neptune, Uranus, all interacting with personal planets in this chart, but also bringing up your relations, connections with other people. And in the south node of not only completion, but it's completing a cycle. What have you been learning in relationships that you're meant to turn a page? You're meant to clear the air. You're meant to move it through, pass it through. That doesn't mean it has to always end. But the south node is about some kind of growth and graduation of what you have experienced since the past 9 years. So 9 years ago, the north node was in Libra. If you want to look back and assess, okay, what you learned about partnerships, connections that work for you, that don't work for you, how you get along with others, how you don't get along with others. I mean, this is a huge category, right? But now this is something important that the universe is directing you to. Venus had her retrograde. She's different now. It was intense. She interacted with all the outer planets. She interacted with all the outer planets through her retrograde. So there was something that was cleared out, maybe dissolved, disintegrated, realized. Like that was a big deal for our sense of love and worthiness and what you believe you're worthy of, especially from others. So here we have a significant, I'm going to call it internal conversation with the external planets that want you to connect with what, it's interesting, like I'm seeing this intuitively as what you're feeling and sensing, but you haven't actualized it yet. This is a growth trajectory of higher self-actualization that is probably showing up through people around you. Let's say maybe if it isn't in your personal relationships, it's in your coworkers, it's in your friendships, it's in your family, it's in a whole category of people that you interact with. What have you outgrown? What are you realizing, ding, 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 isn't true for you? And you're going to change it for yourself because you're worth it. And there could be something here that you've already been feeling or sensing, and October is making it louder. And the Libra solar eclipse on October 14th is a POW of this energy, that something is brought out and reset. Now, the solar eclipse is a new moon. It is resetting the energy, and it's a powerful one because it's a ring of fire. And so that means the moon appears to be a smaller disk in front of the sun. So you can still see the sun's light. The sun is still burning. The sun is alive, but it's alive with a new passion. A new passion is emerging. And this can certainly be relationship changes in big ways. If you have planets or points, especially around 22, let's say 20, I'm going to say 20 to really 25 degrees of Libra, something could be made so clear to you. And also keep in mind that this South Node has been in a square to Pluto about evolutionary change and growth that is definite, determined, intense, uncomfortable. There's angst here. There's an internal anxiety. And so Pluto has been squaring this point. So again, there's multiple energies focusing on this Libra area of your chart, which is affecting how you do relationships. And the beautiful expression of this is that it's an elevation, wanting truer connections, wanting better quality connections. Maybe it's quality over quantity. Maybe there's a sense of, I've outgrown all that. I don't want that anymore. That isn't even who I am. I don't have energy or interest. I'm not going to show up for that. I'm going to show up for something at a higher level, a higher consciousness that has more for me, that also has more for them. So this Libra energy, it really highlights not only partnerships, but choices, and how the choices you make now are actually quite impactful. And they're probably uncomfortable. And they could be, again, stirring up that analysis paralysis, or feeling like, I don't want to make the wrong choice. I don't want to mess this up, or I don't want to do something I've done before. But this is where you trust your intuition. All three of these outer planets are in feminine energies, which I feel is like this universal promise of recreation. Because all three of them are actually in a conversation. And I did discuss this in another chart video, I can't remember which one. But not only is this Uranus sextiling Neptune, and Neptune sextiling Pluto, but it's now it's kind of an out of orb trine between Uranus and Pluto until next year. Next year, amazing energies between all three of these. So this is where you take a long view stance on the choices you're making now. Where do you want to be a year from now? Because it is based on this moment, and this moment is all we have, this present moment. Today, we get locked into what we're doing next week, next month, but your power is in the present moment, and the universe is showing you that you've changed, something has changed in your heart, something has shifted and will continue to shift in October as Mars, Mercury, and the Sun move across the South Node. And there's important relationship review. There's important choices that you're making for your best and highest good. It could feel selfish. You could perceive someone else as being selfish, especially if with the Libra energies, because it's about other people, it's other people making choices and decisions that are right for them. And then you're looking to figure out what to do with the pieces or what your next choice is. There's a lot of energy in this Libra season. And we also will have in 2024 more changes with the planets crossing over the South Node in Libra in 2024. But I think it's at like, I want to say 6 or 7 degrees of Libra. So this is important for you to look at how you've grown, what you've discovered about who you are, what you need, and to also look at the long term. Is this what I want? Is this what I value? And it could be too that Neptune can be very soft in its whispers. It could be something you've already been aware of. And then eclipse season really makes it bigger, clearer. The other thing about this dynamic is that in your chart, wherever you have more of your personal planets or natal planets is where you feel the energy stronger. So let's say you have planets or points near 25 degrees of Pisces, you're going to feel this part of it. You have planets or points in Taurus around this part, you feel more of this. You have planets here in Libra, you're going to feel more of this. So of course it's going to be personal to each of us, but all of these yods and all of these energies are asking us to think long term, to tune into more of your spiritual messages and downloads, and to trust. There's a big trusting here of what you don't fully know or see, like it's not real yet. That could be part of it too. The other configuration, Neptune opposing Mercury. So then Mercury is in a kite, but that comes back to Neptune. So a kite will be a grand Earth trine. Okay, so Mercury in Virgo, Pluto in Capricorn, Uranus in Taurus, and then also involving this Neptune at the point of the kite. This is actually a spiritual growth opportunity. This is part of your ascension process. This is part of your next level awakenings into trusting not only yourself, but your soul's guidance and the universe that is traveling with you into these new creations. And because it's so powerfully focused on Neptune here, right? Like Neptune is in each of the yods, the purple yod, the green yod, the kite. Neptune is at the apex. This is a Neptune in Pisces energy. This is, and Neptune is at the nearing the end of Pisces. There's something important here that you're feeling, sensing from your intuition, from your soul. Every kite is meant to be a liftoff when it points to the planet at the apex. And so this is a part of your spiritual growth. And who's on the same page, who's not? What parts of your life need to be reconfigured to be in alignment energetically with this next level? And one more thing I want to add is that, getting back to the Libra here, before the planets move across that south node in Libra, they each will have an opposition to Chiron in Aries. And this could illuminate something for you, the opposition around not only what you're healing, which is always a Chiron keyword, but where you're on a different page than someone else. So the planets will oppose Chiron and then move across the south node, and there could be some very deep messages there that only you know, that only you're tapping into, that you're aware of. You're feeling it, you're sensing it. You can't deny it. I mean, this can be in your dreams. You could be getting messages in your dreams. You could be getting intuitive guidance and things coming through very unexpected. You know, the universal messages could be quite clear. And then you take that energy and apply it to the Libra areas of your life, and you could be like, well, what do I do with this? What do I do? And that is potentially a really big question. Maybe it's a life decision. Maybe it feels like it's big, it's overwhelming. And if so, then the Libra advice is to talk it out with somebody, you trust, somebody you can go to, somebody who will listen, whether that is personal or a professional, who can hear your side of things or what you're contemplating. The Libra energy looks for that, looks for those connections in order to move energy out of the head. This feels like it's getting out of the head and into the fullness of your energy. And of course, this would be the heart. The heart. This would be also, this is that impulsive energy that can show up at times. This is a lot. All right, so we move into October with all of these energies in this big dance. And that's how we will usher in eclipse season. So I'll have more videos for you talking about these energies of October, but I just wanted to highlight this in case it's something you're going through in the Libra areas of your life, in your chart. If there's something stuck in your head. If it's stuck in your head, I feel like it's small. If it's connected to your intuition and your spiritual growth, it's bigger. Okay. I'm going to leave it there. I think that's enough for now. So thank you for joining me. I hope this resonates. I hope this supports you. Thank you for your likes and subscribes. Thank you for your comments and for sharing this with others who could also benefit from knowing this is the energy that will begin for us that begins the month of October. And it really is going to bring up big relationship changes, big realizations, and basically the next level. I'll be back with another video soon. Thank you so much for joining me.